Today, we're going to be doing a full review of this iRobot Roomba 694 vacuum. We're going to be splitting this review up into 3 different parts. We're going to first go over all the physical parts about this and the charging station. After that, we're going to go over the actual vacuuming performance, and I'll make sure to give you guys some footage of that. Then lastly, we'll be going over the software side of things because this comes with a really cool app, and this could even be connected to your smart device so that you guys could just control this with your voice. So with that being said, let's get into this review. So here it is, the Roomba 694. On the top here, we have a very simple design with a few buttons as well as LEDs. So if I press this, you guys could see the battery indicator, and it also has a Wi-Fi symbol, which is helpful when you guys are getting it set up on the mobile app. Just press this button in the center if you guys want to start cleaning. This is the home button. This will automatically send it back to the dock, which I will show you in a moment. Over here, this is just to release the dirt bin. This button right here is for spot cleaning, and I'll show you exactly what that does in just one moment. Then up top, we have this little bumper. This is just so the robot knows to turn around if it hits something, because this is a randomized robot. It doesn't have like a smart system in it. It just kind of vacuums where it pleases. There are some ways though to make this not go into other rooms, but for the most part, I haven't had to worry about that yet. I just close the door to a room if I don't want it going in there. So here's a quick view at its side. This thing's always running into things, which is why it's all scratched up, but it's to be expected with this type of robot vacuum. As you guys could see, these wheels are pretty big and it gives this thing a lot of clearance, but the cool part is these actually move. So depending on what's going on, if it needs to fit in a tighter space, it can get a little more narrow, and this big wheel really helps us get onto some pretty tall carpets. Moving on to the back, it's a little dirty. I try to clean it up the best I could because I do actually use this thing. We have this brush which helps get into all the corners in your house. This is where it connects to the dock to make sure it gets charged. And then this brush system is very unique. We have a 2-brush design, and this thing does a really good job at picking up dirt and even dog hair. So if you guys need to clean it, just press these 2 tabs, and then you guys can pull up and just pull these right out. So this is what the brush looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and set this back in here, just like that. And both of these do come out. So when you're done, just snap it back into place. And I almost forgot to show you guys the dock. Here it is, and watch this thing line up to it all on its own. Anyways, it's a very simple dock. There's not too much going on with it because most of the controls are through the app. But we do have a big power block here, and this is removable from the actual base here, just in case you guys need to replace that. But basically the base just has a few indicator lights saying that it does have power and that it is currently charging the Roomba. So lastly, this is the dirt bin. I just press this button down here. It lets me pull this up. If you guys need to empty this out, just pull this yellow tab, and then you guys just empty this out in the trash. This is a replaceable filter. Very easy to take this in and out. Basically, you just push these up and you can pull that out. But I'm gonna keep that in there so we could go ahead and do some vacuuming and test this thing out. So overall, the vacuum did a pretty good job. I think this scenario was a little odd because it's such a narrow room, and because of this carpet being so close to the wall, it did have a hard time picking up some of the mess that was between the carpet and the wall. Now, normally that other exterior brush would do a really good job at getting stuff like that, but because it's so narrow, it did struggle a little bit there, and I just wanted to be completely open with you guys that I did have a slight problem there, but when I was using it throughout the rest of the house, for the most part, it gets nearly everywhere, even under my table. Now there's also this mode, they call it the spot treatment. So basically you guys set it down, you press that little button on the top, the circular one, and then it'll just do circles and gradually go wider and wider and then come back in. And this just really helps make sure that it gets everything where you may have spilt something and made a mess. So overall, I was pretty impressed with this mode, and throughout the rest of the house, it did a great job. My only complaint was that one narrow spot by the carpet. Alrighty, so here is what the app looks like. Right here, this is actually the Roomba that we're using right now. You guys could see the current charge level, which is really nice. So you guys don't even have to be in the house to start this. You could actually just press the play button right here, and this will start the cleaning. You guys can set favorite schedules here as well. So if you guys want this to turn on every Sunday at 6:30 a.m., that's how you do that right there. But of course you guys could customize that. It also has a history of when the last job was done, and I believe if there are any problems, they should show up here as well. You guys have some tips and even product health, so it lets you know when the brush and filter needs to be cleaned or replaced. Because this isn't a full smart vacuum, there isn't too much to do here, but it's still pretty nice to have. Also, I did mention earlier that you guys can connect this to the following smart devices so that you guys could actually activate this with your voice. So there's just one other thing that I forgot to mention, and that is that this vacuum actually does have this sensor in it that'll prevent it from going downstairs. They call it some sort of like cliff sensor, so you guys don't have to be worried about that. Overall, I'm pretty impressed with this thing, especially for it being a randomized iRobot vacuum. I think it gets the job done, and it actually does help us a lot, saves us a lot of time from sweeping, especially when you guys have a bunch of animals. This thing still does a great job at picking up even that pet hair that gets stuck in those corners. So with that being said, really enjoy this product, and that's just my full review of the iRobot Roomba 694.